Julius, the Dr. Erving is about to sit down with us here, and he's going to join us here on the Boardwalk on the Hotline, and we'll talk a little bit as he gets his headset ready. We'll start him off with this story that World told us. Doc, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great,
well.
Doc.
Right.
Welcome.
Well, what a day, huh?
What a day is right.
Fantastic.
What a day.
So before we get rolling,
beautiful weather, all that good stuff.
we had World on, and he wanted us to ask you.
This is a
Okay.
great
He said
story.
you owe him gas money from his '77 Lincoln Continental.
I do.
He said you would be driving.
I'll tell you what. If he still has the car, I will take it to the gas station, fill it up, top it off, and bring it back to him.
Let me set it up. So
he gotta have the car. But he
Michael
gotta
there's
have the
wearing
car.
that Slam shirt with Allen Iverson on it.
Yeah,
so
I
World
see.
saw the fro.
Yeah.
And he says, I'll tell you what. He says, when I was a rookie, I had to go pick Doc up in my '77 Continental. And Julius had this fro. I couldn't see the mirror. I couldn't see out the window.
Hey, you know, and it wasn't the biggest pro in the league. There were a few guys who had bigger hair.
Yeah.
Artis Gilmore, for one.
Yeah.
Darnell Hillman. There were some guys who had some
Can you
serious,
walk us
serious
back
hair.
to that? Well, like coming from the ABA to the Sixers
Yeah.
and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like, can you
Yeah.
remember that like it was yesterday?
Oh, yeah, of course. I remember the press conference. I had on like a plaid jacket, bow tie, you know.
Big bow tie.
You know, it was big bow tie. And Irv Kosloff, you know, was owner at that time. And just the whole idea of coming to Philadelphia, being a part of Philadelphia's history, you know, the Wilt Chamberlain story, the Billy Cunningham story, Hal Greer, you know, the great players who were here. Becoming a part of that was very, very special. And it was so special, I decided to commute from New York.
Well, when you go back,
Or it was decided that I would commute from New York. I think that something had to do with domestic peace. So that's why World and I, because he was commuting out of Brooklyn, I was commuting out of Long
Right,
Island.
you'd be like, hey, World, I need
So
a
we
ride.
just said we're gonna let's invent something called carpooling.
the '77
But you
Lincoln
drive,
will do.
you drive and I pool.
That sounds like us, PT. So
He said this thing was a boat, too. He said it made wide turns.
Yeah.
you come here, and all of a sudden, you know, the town is great. I mean, the spectrum's open. We talked to World, said you guys could smell the breath of the fans in that place, and you see similarities in the way the fan base is starting to come back around this team, filled every night. The energy. It seems like what you guys were starting back in the '70s.
Yeah. Well, we were continuing a great legacy of basketball in this city. The fans love basketball here. They love hockey. They love football.
Yeah.
They love baseball. So Philadelphia fans love the major four sports, and then, you know, soccer, tennis, golf, what have you. You know, you got the tour coming in 2 weekends from now, right? They're going to be out at the Ronimink playing in the FedEx Cup. So, you know, this is a sports town, and the fans are brutally honest and in terms of expressing their emotions, their true feelings about what they see, because they want to see good stuff. They want to see people at their best. They want to see the blue collar ethic, and they want to see success. So they want to see some W's, more W's than losses. So when you become a part of that, you know, you got to be serious about it.
Well, being a part of that and being serious about it, how cool is it to see that it's essentially Philadelphia and Boston at the top of the mountain again?
Yeah, you know, that rivalry. And
By the way, Bird still can't guard you.
I think the NBA had lost its way in terms of using the term rivalry, because a lot of things that were happening between franchises and between teams weren't really rivalries. You know, it was just challenges, and a good old-fashioned knockdown, hardened rivalry is Philly-Boston, Boston-Philly, and everybody knows it. You know, Boston and LA don't have a rivalry. Cleveland and Golden State don't have a rivalry, or whatever. Boston and Philly has a rivalry. You know, from the days when they used to play each other 14 times during the course of the season. You know, and now it's only 6, but each of those 6 games there's always something special that's going to happen because of that intensity and because it's a rivalry and people look for something to happen.
How many games would you say you get to during the season?
I probably go to about 12 to 16 basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I live in Atlanta, so I go.
Okay.
I go to some of the Hawks games.
Yep.
And I come up for about 6 to 8 of the Sixer games. And then when I'm on the road and I'm in a city where there's a game, I might stop and check it out, especially if it's Miami or Chicago or whatever.
I thought the documentary that you did was awesome, showing where you grew up, your childhood home, your brother, your family, all that. I shed a tear. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
Because
I cry every time I see it. I mean, I don't think I've ever met a person who's seen that documentary who doesn't come to me and says, I cried.
Yeah.
So it's because it's so brutally honest. And the documentary and my autobiography came out around the same time, 2012, 2013, or whatever. But the documentary is an Emmy winner. And that's pretty special, to have that hanging on the mount, sitting on the mantle.
Yeah.
But it was so brutally honest. And I'm a relatively honest guy.
I think so. At what point were you no longer Julius and you were the doctor to the degree there's no anonymity? Everywhere you went, people were like, that's Dr. J. And then when has it ever cooled? Because I watch, you're like the Pied Piper, man. You come walking down and there's these people all around you like, who, Dr. J? Who? That's Dr.
Well, when you go to a place where you're advertised as coming to, then, a lot of people are going to respond to you a little differently than if you're just passing through the airport or train station or what have you. But I find if I'm in an area long enough, like for 10 or 15 minutes, then the word will spread. That's Julius Erving over there, or Dr. J over there, or there's that crazy guy over there. Or,
Do they want selfies?
Or what have
Do they want selfies or an autograph?
Hey man, selfies have become ingrained in our society right now.
I
was in Brooklyn last night, and it's interesting the approaches that people have for wanting to take a selfie.
Right.
And there are literally, there's street people who say, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, this guy have a camera? Does he really have a phone?
Right.
And he goes in his bag and he comes out with the phone.
Right.
Licks the screen and, gets it over to what he wants to get it to, and bam. And of course, I'm going to say yes, it's like 5 or 10 seconds, but it's such an experience with each person because everybody's got their own style of asking.
Yeah. I thought that was fascinating.
Doc, what are your expectations for the Sixers this coming season, building off a team that went to the semifinals last year?
Yeah. We lost a couple guys that I think were valuable pieces, but management and those guys making decisions to leave when you're on the crest of something was a little disappointing. But I think with the core group and with the stars, with Ben and Joel or whatever, I see good things. I see it being a very, very exciting season. I see the team believing even more so in itself and being even more so determined. Joel talks in terms of being the MVP of the league. He very well could be. Ben could end up being he's going from rookie of the year to MVP of the league. Right. Who knows? In the draft, I think we got another bad ankle situation.
Foot.
Yeah. But other than that, the other pieces and the young players, the rookies who I met inside, they're gonna buy into the system very quickly because it's a successful system, and we certainly have a greater chance since LeBron has gone west. He was a nemesis unto his own. And by the way, I have a great admiration for a guy who has dominated the Eastern Conference
and left
as he has, and then goes out to take up the challenge of playing in the Western Conference. That's chutzpah.
Now, did you try to make a call and say, hey, LeBron, Philly's pretty cool?
You know,
Sway the
I
vote.
think Magic had him locked up. You know, all that.
How does Magic
all
get
that,
more
all
clout
that
in
Midwest.
the dock?
That is not cool.
That
Magic.
we're Midwest boys, so
Yeah.
we can get along. We can understand each other. You know. I think he sold him on that, and the challenge for LeBron, you know, was.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. You know, build our success throughout draft, trades, maybe getting a free agent here and there,
Right.
and just building it. We're just building it, just getting over in that at the right time with the right people in the right place.
Well, and you know, sometimes it just takes that one extra piece or that one
Yeah.
thing to make it click.
Yeah, that last piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the hardest one to get.
it is the hardest one to get. But we got a lot of pieces. We got a lot of good pieces, and coach is great, and the city's ready. I mean, you know, on the heels of the Eagles' success last year, I mean, you know, we want to be championship city.
Well, we'll see it all unfold here soon. I know.
But we got the Eagles got to score some points though.
I know. The Phillies outscored.
They'll
the
lose
other
like
day.
5-0. That's not working
Come
here.
on.
I'm a little annoyed at that one.
Well, hopefully, you know, these preseason games, we get them out of
Yeah,
there.
this practice games, this practice.
Well, we see the Sixers practice games. They'll have a game in China. They
Yeah,
got.
Beijing.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to China first week of October.
Yeah.
So the two games,
Right.
yeah, they play in Shenzhen and they play in Shanghai.
Shanghai.
So my wife and I are going and looking to have a good time over there. I like China for whatever reason. You know, you can have a little bit of anonymity when you,
Right,
when you
right.
slide out.
That's
you
where you
know.
are, 6'6".
Yeah, they got a lot of big people over there.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's some giants over there.
Well, we know this event is really taking off.
Didn't
the
Yao
last
Ming
couple
come
years.
from China?
Yeah.
He's a pretty big guy, right?
But he had trouble with his feet.
No.
You should have been a Sixer with that.
It's always the feet. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Doc, we appreciate you stopping by. We
Yeah,
know you
we
got a lot
okay.
to do today,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
Great to catch up.
Thanks.
We had you last time we caught you were getting the statue. Is it sunk in that you got a statue now?
I know. You know, we already had a statue. Now we have a sculpture.
Right.
They're calling that one a sculpture
That's right.
or whatever. So that's one up on a lot of people when you can get, you know, two original creations in the city where you played. That's phenomenal.
shows the impact.
You know, it just continues with the fact that I'm always going to be tied into Philadelphia. My heart's always going to be here. I don't know if I'll ever live here again full time or whatever, but I'm always going to be connected to Philadelphia, and I'm happy about that.
Awesome. Well, Doc,
All
it was
right.
great to see you, man.
All right.
Appreciate
Likewise.
it.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, guys.